Good morning, Scott here. Hope you're well. Okay, there's a few things to look at today in the chart, so we'll dive straight in. Let me just get my screen shared. And here we go. Okay, so we'll start off with Aussie yen. On the daily, we have a bit sideways the last few weeks, but recently we've had a run up to the daily 50-day 20, just here, and a nice rejection. Nice high test yesterday. So let's see what the lower time frames give us. We'll zoom into the 1 hour chart. And we have, it's a little bit messy. We can see this is the high test we had yesterday. And it's pulled back down below the 4 hour 50, 1 hour 50. And it's giving us, we can't call this a CBO, even though it's crossed the 4 hour 50, because as it currently is, there's no gap on the 4 hour candles. This is the 4 hour chart. So you can see the 4 hour 50 is now the red line, and there's no gap there. It's just wicked it a couple of times, so it's not a clean break and retest. So back to the 1 hour chart. So either we have a breakdown further and a nice pullback and a retest to give us a nice clean CBO, or it pulls back now and gives us a kind of messy-ish, but nevertheless a valid IBO. It pulls back nice and cleanly, although at the moment it's just kind of wicking that area, the 4 hour 50. So it's a trade, it's a valid trade, but it's not looking that clean to me. So I'll put that onto secondary. There are better trades out there today. Let's go to CAD Yen. CAD Yen has been broken down and it's been pausing at this level for 4 days. And we've yet to see any kind of upwards momentum. So let's look at the lower time frames. We're waiting for an update. So what do you see here? We have was almost a very nice ABO, nice triangle, apart from this breakout here. And it's still back inside the triangle. This level seems to be holding pretty well. We got wick there, touch, and three touches there, 3 bounces. Now with an ABO, it's not ideal because we haven't had a clear breakdown below, unless you count this wick just to clear the stops. Also, the ABO is not that great for me because here it's stopping at the 1 hour 50, here it's stopping at the 1 hour 50, here it ignored this line and went to the 1 hour 50 and rejected it. So it's not so much a triangle as a rejection of a few levels and the 1 hour 50. So it's not the cleanest of ABOs. So I personally wouldn't take that as an ABO, although it's kind of valid, although a little bit messy. What we do have, of course, is when we get a break of this triangle, break of the 1 hour 50, we're going to hopefully get a break up here and a pullback to the 1 hour 50, and that can give us a nice little IBO. IBO long, is it A, B, or C? IBO, A, B, or C? Well, we've got no change in the 1 hour trend as yet. We've got a triple bottom, is always good. We are getting lower highs though. So if we've got a higher high, then we can have a higher high, and we're hoping to get a lower low, but we don't know that until we've entered the trade. So this will still be an IBOB. So a bit of caution's required here, but that could be something for a bit later on. Let's look at Euro USD. It's still at this level the last few days. A bit bullish yesterday, but it hasn't actually broken this level. If we go back, this is a pretty good level. Rejections here, and there's not really much is there at this level for quite a way back. But it seems to be rejecting it. Let's have a look what the hourly gives us. Again, we've got a kind of ABO. Remember with ABOs, this must be a very strong SR line. So we need to look at our daily and validate this as a very strong resistance line. All right, so we've got a trend line here. We've had a trend line here, which broke yesterday quite cleanly, rejected the 1 hour 50, went back again to test this resistance. Since then, it hasn't broken the 1 hour 50, and the 1 hour 50 and the trend line is holding. Again, it's not in a great ABO because of, well, this isn't a great level, well-respected level. We need a third touch anyway to be valid. And, you know, a break of the 1 hour 50 and this trend line and a retest, that could give us a nice little IBO short with an IBO stuck in here somewhere, probably about here, down to 4 hour 50. And that could be a nice little IBO short later. Okay, let's go to pound Aussie. It's looking a bit messy. Let's get rid of this daily 20, just for clarity's sake, which is this one, I think. Oh, is it probably this one? That didn't work. Maybe it's this blue one here then. Oh, there's 2 daily 20s there. Interesting. I'll get rid of that one. So if we hide that one, okay. So we just have the daily 50 on here now. So we can now see that it's been rejecting, it's been going sideways, but rejected the daily 50 again. This is probably a nice little level here as well. The way it's been rejected a couple of times exactly at that level. And if we go back here, we can see maybe there. Yeah, it's not great. Let's go back and validate that level. But we've had a bullish day since, so hopefully get a bullish day today. Let's look at the lower time frames and see what it gives us. Well, it's a bit messy, isn't it? Okay. If we ignore this spike here, just run up and run straight run back again, that's probably some kind of news. Kind of time of day was that? Late evening for me. That's an unusual time for this. There was no news. Oh, maybe there was some US news that moved it. But yeah, so if we ignore that, we can see it's been pretty good. You know, those break up above the 1 hour 50 quite cleanly. It's just gone past the 4 hour 50 and it's going to come back to revisit it, hopefully. The fibs line up nicely with the 382 being here, lining up with the daily pivot. 1 hour 50 catching up. That could be a nice little IBOC because the 4 hour 50 is already reached. IBOC long. And I'll take it up to this this line here, which is what exactly? It's probably this support line here, which has been respected back here, and recently as well. So that's probably quite a strong level. We do not want to be going through that one again. So that looks like quite a nice trade, apart from this spike here, which looks a bit yucky. So I'll put that again on secondary. So if better turns up, that's what I'll choose. Pound Aussie. What do we have? Pound Aussie. So we've got up to this, reject this line here. We had the line a little bit lower earlier, but this line here is still valid. And if we go back, it's wicked it here. It's the body of the candles here. So there's not really much around this level. But okay, so it's rejected that line and a very small candle yesterday, doji-ish. Decelerated nicely the last few days. So let's see what the lower times frames give us. Okay, the 1 hour, we've got a lovely trend line here. I like that. We've not quite got a decent SR line for an ABO, although you could if you ignore the spike, which looks about the same time as the spike we saw on the last chart. So ABO possibly, a bit aggressive, but it's a nice spike to take out any stops. And then here we've had 3 touches, well only 2 really, because of this one went straight through it. So it's not ideal. I like this trend line though. If we break this trend line, we could be looking at a breakdown below the 1 hour 50, pullback, and then a short trade to the 550 and IBO, ABOC, whatever it turns out to be. So that's looking pretty good. Possibly for later on. We don't know yet. We'll hope that sets up. Dollar CAD. Okay, dollar CAD came down to this level. It's been stalling here for a few days. It's been going up and down a little bit. Slightly more bullish yesterday. Does it give us anything decent on our 1 hour chart? Well, we have now finally broken the 1 hour 50 quite cleanly. This is a higher high over the last couple of days or so. And the lows, yeah, there's some kind of support line about here. We'll access a double bottom, maybe even a triple bottom, which is always bullish. And if you do a fierce from the lows to the highs, it's trying to go to new highs at the moment, which probably needs to, because dollar CAD won't sit up for another 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. And if it goes up to here, that means the 382 is slightly higher for the 1 hour 50 to meet it. The pivot's pretty close as well, so it could also be a value pip snatcher. And that's looking quite nice. You need to trade through the 4 hour 50 for a decent profit. You'll probably get 1-to-1 before the 4 hour 50 for a pip snatcher. Yes, that's one to look out for later on. Dollar Swiss. Massive breakdown and really still in these levels a lot, which is good. Great deceleration. And something else here possibly is it's a really strong level, which is same lows as these lows here, which is why it stops in its tracks. You could even take this as a, let's put my day 20 back on. Take this as a swing trade, a reversal swing trade back up to the day 20, daily 50. It could be a good 2 or 3%er. Inching on the 1 hour, no, inching on the daily chart. And so for the swing entry, your entry will be a buy stop just above yesterday's candle, and a stop just below yesterday's candle, or maybe even the candle before if you want to be a little bit safer. That was pretty good. Right. 1 hour chart, very sideways. We need to see a good. Otherwise, this is gold. I'm trying to remember. Oh, because of the SBO. Okay, so that also has a swing trade. We could also take this as a swing breakout. So if you're familiar with the SBO, entering on the 1 hour candle close, that could be a good swing breakout trade, or you can just wait patiently. The advantage of an SBO is you're always going to get an entry, right? Unless you get a massive candle up here, which is just too large to actually enter on, because your stop would be so wide. But pretty much a guarantee to get an entry. IBO, you hope it's going to pull back to the 1 hour 50 to give you an entry for an IBO. So hopefully later today we'll get an IBO long setting up for that trade. Let's just choose the SBO. That's it. I can see really imminent. It's quite a few that are maybe setting up later today or possibly tomorrow. Aussie CAD. Which is an interesting one. I extended this line here, this trend line, which goes quite a way back, the monthly chart back to July last year. So well over a year. And I just extended it, and it's exactly where that high test stopped and reversed 2 days ago. So yesterday we had another candle, which was doji-ish, and stopping its level, which is quite a strong resistance level as well. So let's look at we're looking for a short day today. What do we see on our 1 hour chart? Nice trend line. That seems to be quite valid. Been respected a lot. A break below that could even give you an SBO short just for that quick reversal, or just the break of the 1 hour 50, pull back, and then we can take an IBO short down to the 4 hour 50. So that was looking quite nice. Aussie dollar. Again, we got stalling at a level, and a doji candle yesterday, or mini high test. So looking to go short today. So it's just broken the 1 hour 50, not convincingly though. Gone back behind it. Now it's just trying to break down. We just had some Aussie news about an hour or so ago. Didn't do anything, just created a big spike and then it just disappeared again. And can't even see a spike on this chart. I'm sure I saw it on something. Aussie CAD, that was spike. Yeah, maybe it was this one here. Just a quick spike and then back again. Okay, so Aussie dollar we're looking at. So we need a breakdown now. Clear break 1 hour 50, pull back to 1 hour 50, probably a little bit lower by then. Trade down to the 4 hour 50. That could be a nice little IBO setting up later today. CAD Swiss. CAD Swiss stalled its level for the last 4 days, waiting for some positive momentum. It's just not managed to get any traction yet. We're looking for an update today. We have on the 1 hour chart. We kind of have a level there, not the best for an ABO, but there's a kind of level there. So you could be looking at taking an ABO. Rejection 1, 1, and 2, 2, 3. So you kind of have 3 rejections of both the trend line and this support level. So you could be looking for an ABO, which should be entering very soon, or waiting for a clean break of this trend line and the 1 hour 50, and when it comes back, retest for a nice IBO up to the 4 hour 50. So that could be a nice one for later on. Euro yen. Again, daily 50 has been respected. A few days. Maybe today's the day it breaks through the day 20 and get some positive momentum happening. So we've had 1, 2, 3 different IBOs recently. None of them actually led to anything. So, and again, it's come back. So let's look at the MACD actually. MACD is looking recharged off this low here. And then we've got quite a nice strong MACD there. So we need to see a much higher prices up to here somewhere. Then come back to the 4 hour 50 for CBO. 1 hour 50 will catch up about here somewhere. And then we'll have a CBO long. Take it up to highs. Struggling a bit. And yeah, it could be a CBO in there somewhere. See how that plays out. But we need to see some strength here and the MACD to confirm it. If the MACD does not get above these highs on the MACD, then it's a MACD divergence. So I won't be entering long for a further trade higher than the last high. I think that'll be ultimate trouble. So you need to have that higher high here and a higher high on the MACD. Good to be a valid setup for me. Kiwi CAD. Almost reaching this level. We've reached the level here, it seems to stop, but the real level seems to be a little bit higher because we've got this big rejection here and rejection here. So this seems to be the level we're aiming for. But it's decelerating. You expect it to go a little bit higher before we trade short. So it could break down now. Let's be aware that that level is a little bit further up, a little bit higher. the one that we expect it to respect, which will be here. Actually, what we'll do is we can copy this and we can stick it on our chart. So it's not much higher, it's just got to go a little bit higher. Hits that, and then everyone will be happy that we've reached the level, and we can then wait for a break and retest of the 1 hour 50, trade down to 4 hour 50. That could be nice. Kiwi dollar. Kiwi dollar. Rejected this level here, which lines up with these highs here. So that's nice rejection. Good little high test, mini high test candle yesterday. We're going to go short today. And we've broken the trend line quite clearly. Anyway, trend line there somewhere, broken it. Just try and get through the 1 hour 50, get a break of the 1 hour 50, pull back, IBO short. We'll see up later on today. Dollar yen, last one we look at. Again, still on this level a lot. Quite a strong level, this high here, major level for this high. So if we have some bullish price action to happen, what can we get on the 1 hour chart? Very sideways, not much happening, no direction at the moment. Both dollar and both yen have had strength the last couple of days. So we're ready for a clean break of the 1 hour 50. We need a clean break and a higher high, I'd suggest. So above this high. So we got to here somewhere, reject it, come back to the 1 hour 50, IBO long, up to the 4 hour 50. Okay. So my video comes back. It does. Good. Right. Good. So there's a few things there to look out for. A few things happening not too distant future, and some things later today or maybe tomorrow. So I wish you all the best of luck in the markets. If you're not a member of ProTrader, scottprotrader.com, you can sign up for over 3 hours of free training, which is the group that I'm a part of, the program. And the description will be in the comments. So I will see you tomorrow in my watch list then. Have a great evening. See you.